now take you to the broadcast of It's Time with Reverend Nathaniel W. Martin. Here's Reverend Martin.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, but certainly never good night and never ever goodbye, because I've always found goodbyes to be traumatizing. That's a personal thing. My name is the Reverend Nathaniel Wayne Martin. I'm the pastor of the New Life Institutional Baptist Church here in the city of Los Angeles, and we're located at 8916 South Main Street, and we're worshiping with the Shiloh Missionary Christian Church. And usually when you type in 8916, that's what's going to come up first, Shiloh Missionary Christian Church. You're going to see the building. Come on in. That's where I am, in there. And I thank God for the fellowship. One Lord, one faith, and one service. All right. And this is a social justice offering, and we try to keep away from the hoopalistics if we can, although in the times in which we live, somebody needs to be saying something. And you hope that our news media, which has been co-opted by the billionaires, so we can't look to them, but then our podcasters and our social media people, we hope that they will be able to ferret out the truth from among the many propaganda lies that are out there and relate to God's people what is actually occurring. But I digress. Let me give you my 4 scriptures that I have, and you have to bear with me because I'm going to have to read my Bible because I left my phone at the house. And yes, I feel naked without it. But we're going to make it. Now, in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, it says, beginning in verse 15, that which hath already been, that which is hath already been, and that which is to be, wait a minute, let me start that over. That which is hath already been, and that which is to be has already been. And God requires an account of that which is past. And verse 16, moreover I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there. And in the place of righteousness, iniquity was there. I use that because of the Trump administration placing these extreme MAGA right-winger judges on the bench all across the country. They are young, in their 30s or early 40s, and they're going to be there for 50 to 60 years. Iniquity, wickedness, unrighteousness in the place of judgment. Our second scripture is over in the little book of Micah 6, chapter in the 8th verse, and it says these words, He hath shown thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. Moving over to the 12th chapter of Luke's Gospel, that first verse, the last clause of that first verse, where Jesus is instructing his disciples, beware the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. All right, and then our final section of scripture, Ephesians chapter 6, verse number 11, put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And then that 12th verse, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And you notice there are 4 things that you are to push back against. That's what that against. Resist the principalities, resist the powers, resist the rulers of the darkness of this world, and resist spiritual wickedness in high places. It may terrify you, but you got to resist. You must not give in. You must not succumb. You must not acquiesce. No, you must not surrender. You must stand. And so in standing, God will give you strength to stand. Even if it come down to like the Hebrew boys who in the face of the fiery furnace, staring them in the face, said, O King, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. Our God, if it be, our God is able to deliver us, and he will deliver us. But be it known unto thee that we will not bow down to thine image which thou hast set up. And you must cultivate that degree of toughness, that degree of encouragement, of resistance, that in the needed hour you will not quake, you will not acquiesce, you will not fear, you will say, I will not bow to these evils. And that's what we need to be saying to this administration, saying to this Congress, and saying to all the MAGA people all across this country and indeed around the world. Because what's at root of it, of course, is sin. And that sin at this time manifests itself in white supremacy. That's all that's causing the Netanyahus of the world to get the Trumps of the world to go jump on a black country. It's because of white supremacy, the hubris of white supremacy, the arrogance of white supremacy. It's I can do what I want, and you can't do nothing about it. And so the doctrine of sovereignty, which the nations trumpet at the UN, it doesn't hold when it's a white nation, a European nation, for that matter, coming against a nation of darker people, darker hue. No, you're telling Iran you can't have sovereignty, you can't have enriched uranium, and they need that enriched uranium for domestic purposes. Matter of fact, I found out yesterday that the United States has a ship out on the sea, which is a nuclear powered ship, and it can stay out there for 25 years. 25 years, because it's powered by that nuclear power. And of course, we use nuclear power domestically in our medicines and to develop our medicines, and which is what the Iranians were doing, because they had a fatwa. The leader that the United States, that in Israel assassinated, he had a fatwa, which that's our language. That language in our language being a mandate or an edict that they would not develop a nuclear weapon or nuclear bomb because it was against their religion. But now that man, they conveniently killed that old man, and he was their best hope of getting a binding treaty that the Iranians would never develop nuclear weapons to the point of developing a nuclear bomb or a weapon. I think as long as they develop it only up to 60%, and I think what the agreement under Barack Obama was that they would not develop it up to 60%. They were willing to dilute it and down to 5% and dilute that 5%. But that is the thing that when Donald Trump, when he became president, he tore that up because he didn't want anything to do with Obama's name on it. That's why he warred against Obamacare, which was health care for the needy. It wasn't the best, but at least it was better than what the Republicans were advocating, because the Republicans have yet to put forth a health care package. Their health care package is no health care. Mind you, at the same time, the United States is underwriting free health care for the Israelis. Israelis have free health care, underwritten by the taxes and the largesse of the United States, who denies free health care to its own people, but falls over its feet to guarantee free, I said free, health care to the nation of Israel. Now you tell me what's up with that. I wanted to do a little bit different today because of the weight of the news. I wanted to kind of relieve the tension a little bit, get our minds off of the war, off of the strife, and look at the fact that this week they celebrated Jackie Robinson Day, number 42, and that was a great celebration. And Jackie Robinson was born in Cairo, Georgia in 1919, and he moved with his family to Pasadena, California sometime after that. And in spite of the discrimination there, he was a star athlete at John Muir High School, excelling in football, basketball, track and field, and, you guessed it, baseball. A lot of people are unaware that he was court-martialed in the Army for failing to give up his seat on a military bus when ordered by the driver. He was also attached to the 761st Tank Battalion in World War II. That was the Black Battalion, because they didn't allow black, or colored people, Negroes as we would call, to be associated with the white soldiers. So this was a black tank battalion, 761st Tank Battalion, and they really distinguished themselves in the European conflict. But following his discharge, he started playing with the Negro League team. And on April 16, 1945, the Boston Red Sox reluctantly held a major league tryout for black baseball players in the Negro Baseball League that many regarded as some of the best players in the world. But the team refused to sign any of them due to an unwritten rule at that time against hiring black players. All right. And future Hall of Famer Jackie Robinson, along with Mr. Marvin Williams and Mr. Sam Jethro, during the workout, which was attended only by Red Sox team management, players taunted them, and they endured shouts from the stands, including "get those N-words off the field," or they didn't use N-words. Red Sox managers abandoned all three black baseball players and sent them home without contracts or even the courtesy of a response from the team managers. However, 2 years later, in 1947, Branch Rickey, who was the president of the Brooklyn Dodgers, hired Jackie Robinson to play ball with the Brooklyn Dodgers, and the rest, as they say, is history. His number, 42, was retired in 1997. It is worn on Jackie Robinson Day league-wide. He appeared in 6 World Series. So God makes a way, and God bless the memory of Jackie Robinson. And God thank him for hanging in there and for being our armor bearer in those dark days. Like you said, it was not only that the military was segregated, the whole United States society was segregated. You had black churches and white churches, which we still have today, and you had everything, like I said, was segregated. Somebody said the most segregated hour in the United States is 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Dr. King was quoting someone who had made that statement. Now, there were other black athletes that we can talk about, and I'm like I said, I'm going to forego dealing with the war conflicts. Try to be a little lighter today. All right. Let's talk about the 1936 Olympics. Jesse Owens and Ralph Metcalf and Mac Robinson, who was the brother, I might add, of Jackie Robinson. Matthew Robinson was his brother. were originally, Marty Glickman and Sam Stoller were originally slated to compete in the American relay team, but were replaced by Jesse Owens and Ralph Metcalf prior to the start of the race. Remember, this was in Berlin, Germany, and Hitler at that time was talking about the master race, the Aryan race, and all of that. And he was saying his boast was that the white race was the greatest race. So you can see where this is going, and why the U.S. military was segregated, and why the United States of America was segregated. The whole wide world was segregated. All right. As relates to Mr. Glickman and Sam Stoller, it is speculation that their Jewish heritage contributed to the decision not to embarrass the German host. However, given that African Americans were also heavily disliked by the Nazis, Glickman and Stoller's replacement with Negro American athletes, Jesse Owens and Ralph Metcalf, does not support this theory. Others state that Jesse Owens and Ralph Metcalf were in a better physical condition, and that was the main reason behind the replacement. Okay. Matt Robinson placed second in the 200 meters of the United States Trial Olympics in 1936, earning himself on the Olympic team. He went on to win the silver medal at the Summer Olympics in Berlin. Remember, this was finished 4/10 of seconds behind Jesse Owens. And in 2016, the 1936 Olympic journey of the 18 black American athletes, including Matthew Robinson, was documented in the film Olympic Pride, American Prejudice. Now, let's talk about Ralph Metcalf, another Olympian in that same 1936 Olympics. He also competed, and again he took home. He ran second, right behind Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens was like this, and Ralph Metcalf was like that. That's how close it was. In the 100 meters. All right, it was in the 100 meters. This time, behind four-time medalist Jesse Owens. All right, Ralph Metcalf and Jesse Owens was on the relay team, 400-meter relay team, 4x100 meter relay team. Let me get that right. And they won gold in that event, along with Floyd Draper and Frank Wyckoff. All right, the U.S. won by 1.1 seconds over runner-up Italy, and Germany, took bronze. Fierce rivals on the track, Metcalf and Owens became lifelong friends. Now we've talked about men, now let's talk about them women. Wilma Rudolph was born June 23rd, 1940, and was an American sprinter who overcame polio as a child and went on to become a world record-holding Olympic champion and international sports icon in track and field, following her successes in the 1956 and 1960 Olympic Games. All right, Wilma Rudolph competed in the 200-meter dash and won a bronze medal in the 4x100 meter at the 1956 Summer Olympics at Melbourne, Australia. She also won 3 gold medals in the 100 and 200 meter individual events and the 4x100 meter relay at the 1960 Summer Olympics in Rome, Italy. All right, Wilma Rudolph was acclaimed as the fastest woman in the world in the 1960s. She became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in track and field during a single Olympic Games. So hats off to the women. It was not just our men, and of course, I was looking at the modern field, track and field heroes and heroines and athletes that are out there, and I couldn't miss Gabby Thomas, because she seems to be the gazelle out there, and she has been very impressive in the Olympics. But then I looked at the late Waylon Jones' granddaughter. Her name was Allison Felix. She's still living. She lives up there by Magic Mountain, and she's retired now. And she won, by the time she retired from competition in 2022, she was holding 20, she had 11, count them, 11 gold medals from the Olympics. So the girl had quite a haul. And she ran track, she ran the 100, she ran the 200, she ran the 400. She ran them all. She outrun Veronica Campbell from Jamaica, and she even outran Carmelita Jeter, who was her own teammate here from California. So she had quite an impressive career, and we have to lift up our women as well as our men, and don't forget about our women, because they come along side by side with our men. We talk about Flojo, but Allison Felix won 11 gold medals, Olympic gold. You hear me? That don't count all the stuff that she won in the amateurs and in the indoor athletics in those other meets in those other countries. And so she had quite a record. And a side note, Nike was her sponsor, but when she got pregnant, Nike dropped it. Said, we're not going to support you financially like that no more, because you got pregnant. And so she didn't let that stop her. She went out and pulled away from Nike and went down to another company called Athleta, and she developed her own running shoe called Sage. And it just go to show you God don't like ugly. Nike, who had supported her career all the way through, dropped her when she became pregnant. But then after she got pregnant, she came on back, and she got back out there on the track field, and she won again. Like I said, when she retired in 2022, she had 11, count them, 11 gold medals. More gold medals than Carl Lewis. And you know Carl Lewis could run. And so you see, our people have excelled, and but we have always looked like been oppressed by the European nations, who just don't like to see us excel. And a lot of that Karen business is because of the jealousy and the avarice and the larceny that dwells in the hearts of a lot of people. Not all people, thank God, but a lot of people who don't want to see black people thrive and do well in this nation. But God keeps his hand on us, and he keeps bringing us back. When the songwriter said, you push me down, but Jesus picks me up. He stands right by my side when the going gets tough. I got Jesus, and that's enough. Again, I'm trying to not be so heavy and dark emotions, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. It is not all gloom and doom. God is still on the throne. He's still rules and super rules and over rules in the affairs of mankind. And truth forever on the scaffold, the old saying goes, wrong forever on the throne, but yet that scaffold sways the future, because standing in the dim unknown, standing God within the shadows, keeping watch above his own, we shall overcome. Don't get discouraged by the heaviness of the news or by the darkness of the hour. We shall overcome. 5 minutes. All right. I'm getting too early today, y'all. And so I thank God for the optimism or the faith that I have in him and in his word, and that he's always comes out a winner at the finishing line. If it wasn't for God, I don't know what I would do. I'm so grateful for the back in my childhood, a lady named Miss Alberta Cheeks told me, said, Nathaniel, Jesus loved you. I was a little bitty old boy, about 3 or 4 years old, and my mama sent me to Sunday school. And she said, yes, Jesus loves you. He died for you. Save your soul. And so I thank God for those that introduced me to Jesus and started my seeking for him. I haven't always been faithful now. From 45 to 78, no, I've had a lot of faults, a lot of misturns, a lot of falling down. But I thank God that they trained me up in the way that I should go, and now that I'm old, I don't depart from it. And I thank God for Miss Alberta Cheeks, God rest her soul, even at this hour. My mother sent me to Sunday school, but that Sister God Missionary Baptist Church was in the neighborhood, in other words. I grew up at a time in Houston, Texas, when segregation was rampant and everything. And so just like it was out in Pasadena for Jackie Robinson, they didn't give him an easy way to go either. Matter of fact, they did not recognize him until later in life, when the world began to acknowledge him, and give him adulation. Then all of a sudden, that racist town in Pasadena said, we're going to have to step up our game and recognize one of our own. But they did not do that prior to, even after he won the Olympics and was successful. He and Mike Robinson had a hard way to go there in Pasadena. But of course, God don't like ugly. He ain't care that much about pretty either. But God makes a way out of no way. And I'm just waiting for the music to start so I can close out. And I thank God for you, and I want to encourage your faith and your walk with God. Be not dismayed, the old songwriter said way back yonder. God will take care of you. Beneath his wings of love, abide no matter what may be the test. God will take care of you. Lean, weary one, upon his breast, and God will take care of you. We need to say that again. God will take care of you through every day, through all the way. He will take care of you. And then I hear that little song. As soon as I stop worrying about how the story ends, as soon as I gave up and I let go, that's when God stepped in. And that's when he worked it out. All right, so I'm telling you again, if you're working on a job and they don't want to pay you what you're worth, don't waste your life, don't waste your energy, because they're going to close and move to another state, and you're going to have to go with them or drop out. If they don't want to pay you what you worth right there, don't work for them. Thank you, Doc. We're out of here. Love you. Ubuntu. Keep the faith. Keep hope alive.